Welcome back to Timberborn and our Oasis playthrough, also known as BeaverBrook IV, and this is the experimental one if you're not too sure and you haven't seen this before. I would suggest if you start it or you want to start it from scratch, because it will make you, especially if you're interested in buying this, let's say, game, and it'll go through some new features that you will get in version 1 that are different from the update 6, 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1. I didn't start playing this game or didn't buy it until update 6. And obviously I've learned it from them and now play quite regularly. But these are 3 days a week so far because it's the experiment, which is maybe coming out in the next 3 to 6 months. So we want to get through this playthrough. So we want to, push it forward. So when obviously the update is official, that's it. Then we run in all the others from then. So let's get into it and see what we can do. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you enjoy all the other Timberborn playthroughs on the site, and even more, where we go through all sorts. That being said, last time I was building this section here, so I want to move. The problem is this the new geothermal engine is really good, but the trouble is it only produces 400, and I'm not actually getting the full power. So I really want to move these. As you can see, 93%, 60 something percent. So it's just taking far too much. We're taking 600. We're only producing 400. So we're moving this to a new. I mean, the only advantage of obviously this means it's running constantly, where this is not. Because we have absolutely zero power. We're going to be using the bad water here, and this should be enough to produce a decent amount of power when we get it going. Also, in the last one, I linked up the new aquifer feature in what will be version 1, which is obviously this is an experimental play. So I'm using the experimental branch, should say. And things are, potentially changed for version 1, but this is where we go at the moment. And this will drill into there and then get water, and then we'll, be nice with this as well. So that's good. We've already got one here. These cost 400 when the man-made ones. This is only 200 to run because it's one that's already on the map. And we've already got one here, which is another 200. So it's all coming, and the reason obviously why that I've got the water is we don't want these to run out of water, but they should do anyway. So everything, and this will be moving now. Like I said last time, I think I'd really like to concentrate. I'll see when this is getting there, if you like. I want this to be moved because I think I may, maybe not. I'm gonna have to find out because I want to power the dirt excavator from this point, and we'll probably get a few dirt excavators. So we're gonna need quite a bit of power to run a few. This is enough to run this one, but obviously, if I put the dirt excavator into this, it will not be. So that's another thing to concern. How's my water situation going here? I'm not pumping any, so it should be fine. That's why I've left this open. So we're doing okay. There's 2,000 there. But obviously when I get these 4 running again, they will absolutely, they do really well at pumping. Certainly better than the Iron Teeth if you want to watch a different version of Timberborn. Well, not a different version as such, but it's the Iron Teeth, so it's a different faction, like different beaver faction, but it's the on hard. This is only on normal because it's the experimental. We don't know what we expect. And that one is definitely scratch ahead, and it's taken a long time to get there, but that one's coming through. So with the food situation, even though it's not massive, everything is full. I can't produce any more food, which means I can't potentially get more beavers, or I can't, you know, so I need to have different industry or different areas to be able to put things. Now, whether I'm going to have another one for like this, because I've got this one and I've got this one. I don't particularly like these on the end of it, but there's not a lot I can do. I can't really extend this either because of these are in the way, and this I can do it this side but not the other. I mean, we've got the resin at that side as well, but I'm not getting any more resin at this precise moment, so gonna have to keep, because obviously if it's producing treated planks, it's gonna use up the resin, and eventually I've got a bit of, you know, I've got this here. I mean, I might as well turn it on, to be honest, and then we'll dump in, we'll fill this up. We've got 150 or so that we can get, so this will be full, and then that's not too bad. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is gonna be. Like I said in the last and the end, I could actually block this off. I mean, I could block it off here and actually flood this a bit higher to get to this level, which would be quite interesting, holding more water, which is obviously then allow more. The only disadvantage with that is if I go too far, I may not be able to use and do another one of something like this. And this is why I decided to use this and block this off, because I thought, well, it's good for spaddock and things like that, and it's good for food. We're on 28, so we're going to need more, and there's more to certainly done here. It would be nice to get some sort of fun things for the beavers, but I can't do much at the moment. I'm needing more. I suppose I could set out this area. Let's see what I mean. This is all hunky dory. I'm thinking that maybe there. And the reason why is obviously I'm trying to. That's going to cost me an absolute fortune. I've got to work out where the power's going to come in, but I'm trying to go around, because if I'm going to cut this out for, let's say, dumping water in to keep, the reason why is we could dump water in. I mean, you could use one of these, or a mechanical fluid, dump the water in. I'm not too sure how I'm going to get the water from, let's say, here to here. That's going to be an interesting. Now, I think most of this is potentially this. It's this problem is here. No, actually, that might not be as bad as first imagined. This is not on the floor either. If we look, we've technically got one more that we can actually go. This could be blasted down. Because it's not sat on the. Well, I can't show you it, but if we take a map, I can't go over, but you can see this bottom. It's not sat on there like this is. There's one more higher. So that's another thing we could actually do to increase the water volume on there, maybe. But it may be a potential to open up this with a tunnel and have the water come under this, because we can go under here. And then I could have a fluid dump and fluid dump all of this for a reservoir, which again would open everything up, because obviously it would, because it's higher, it would make everything else around it potential for land. So there's a lot we can do in this play, which is good. Come on, I need some water, please. I'm going down. So. Now here we come back. Surviving your first drought. I think I've done a little bit more than that. Wouldn't you reckon? Obviously, like I said in the previous one, it looks as if they they're starting to get ready for these achievements that you get on Steam and some games. And obviously, because I've obviously been playing this before the version such and such, it's it's starting to do that sort of thing. But anyway, I'm trying to work out. This water is coming back, and I didn't want to drain it, you see. So I'll put this on, and now we'll start getting this going. We should theoretically starting to get water coming through here if I'm done it right. No, I have not done it right. It's not connected. Why is it not connected then? Aha, here we go. I had to wait a little while. I was thinking, why is this not working? Now it's working. So we should get some water coming through here. As it's starting to turn. Now we've got our industry coming. That's pretty good. Obviously the problem at the moment is trying to find somewhere to actually put this industry. I'd like to obviously get this going. We've got the cocktail, we've got the flower here, we've got the cocktail here, and the reason why is because I had this turned off. I didn't copy that at the time. Now this will have a detrimental effect on this. We'll probably find that some of this will not be running. I might be wrong. That's not an annoying sound by no means of the imagination. So no, that's all as it is. That means if we potentially pause this now, because we don't really need it, because we've got that industry up I've just showed you. So now we're only pulling, I don't know how much we pull in. Oh, they're asleep, so we're not actually pulling anything at the moment. But obviously there wouldn't be. I always get to be back with this because you can see them, but sometimes at night, when they're at night, obviously they're not in there, so that's the way it goes. So I'm gonna need what would be really beneficial here would be having because I'm gonna need it anyway. It's always nice to get some, and then they're not going backward. So we'll get the treated, we'll get the blocks, and we'll get the, what the hell did we want there? Gears, that was it. Gears will not be stored in here, that's for certain. But we need 100 gears. I think they can be stored in here. That'll do. We go to obtain. We're going to go to obtain, and we'll go to obtain and do that. I didn't want to put them on there because they'll be in the way. So I'm just going to get them to take all this treated this and shove it down where I've just done. The only slight problem is they're going to have to get to here and then whiz themselves around. They'll have to whiz to... oh no, they'll whiz to here, then walk up there, and then whiz round to go into here. It's a bit of a thing, but it's faster than obviously walking. And that'd be great. And then I'll start this off when we're ready. I've got 200 endurance, so I could almost, dare I say, get... come on. Did that, was that? Because obviously I need to make sure that is green. That is green. but that is not green. That's green. Why is that not green though? Why is that not green? I wonder. It always baffles me, does this? Why would that not be green? It may be to do with it thinks it's not. I'll tell you what, it may actually be this. It could potentially be that. So let's get down there and let's just see about taking off any of this wood. You can't do that. Cut trees. Get this cut. So we'll cut the lot. I've got to cut the lot because it won't actually go down there. That'll be done. I've already put 66 gears in there, and I wasn't supposed to put anything in there because I wasn't ready. What actually be quite... I've not tried it. I would be tempted to try and get 3 going. If not, I would have liked to get 4. But it's in the way. I know that was a bit silly, but I'm just going to go back. Where I always get this wrong. If we rotate this, so we're at the back. Well, I suppose we could do it this way and do it inside, which wouldn't be the worst idea. No, I need that to move down a bit. So if I'm going to do this on the outside, I liked it the other way because obviously that way I could control it a bit more and it would be in a thingy, but it might not actually be best to be that way. If we take it this way, then we would actually take it that way, and obviously I can't. You see what I mean? The best actually being inside and not on the outside, was just the way that it goes. I suppose we don't have to have them line up. Well, that's a bit weird. That's got to be a bug. Because there's no way that would allow me to... Yeah. That's a bit of a bug. There's no way that should allow that to actually be able to be done. So it looks as if I can't do 4. 4 on my idea is not going to work. So that's fine. I'm just going to wait for all these trees and everything else. Sometimes that causes a problem, and I don't know why that would not allow me to line that up. For an example, if I'm taking this corner here, so it's not really that then, is it? If that one's that one, I thought it might be to do with, let's say that, but I suppose no. Anyway, let's get ourselves going and just pause this and get them trees out of the way first and go from there. I'm generating enough power. I'm generating 1,000. I'm only using half the amount of power. we are generating enough there. So we got the 2. There we go. So this is quite nice. Look at the green there. Awesome. Yeah, I definitely think that that would benefit from increasing the increase the water. There's not much water. There's not much. There doesn't look to be a great deal of water flow, although there is quite a little bit. You know, it's absolutely slow as slow could be. But obviously it's generating water, which obviously is green in all this. Now I did say that I might be interested in getting a efficient farm in here. And obviously I'm going to redesign this here to maximize the amount of that I can, you know, put down. I'm not going to do, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do sunflower, and I'm going to do, I'll say carrots on here. I don't think I've got anybody to work at that, so I might not have enough. Well, no, because if I've got the inventors here, then that's going to be okay. That will then, I did just making sure that I did cut everything. No, I didn't. The one that I probably need to cut is this one, and I completely missed it. Water is back almost to where it needs to be. So that's good. I did have these here to suck out bad water, which I don't think it will do, because I don't think there's any, as you can see here, there's absolutely zero bad water in this water now. There was before, so I'm sucking it out just to make sure, obviously, the beavers didn't get ill, and that's why I built this. I had a problem. There was you could have had an idea to maybe have a fluid dump on that to push the water out, and then it wouldn't do anything. But I chose to do it this way. Whether right and wrong are indifferent is a, you know, is what it is. I'm gonna need this power. I also need a power thing there, so that's something I can get built. To run 2, it's going to be quite an expensive job. We're running down here. So again, I can get most of this in. Obviously, this will have to move eventually. If I build this or this, I'll not get to this pile. I'm gonna need an enormous amount of as much of these as I can. And there. Obviously, I can't get any more, but that's 4. I think if I was to dump it in here, yeah, you see, it's too much. If you overflow I'd like to get more than what I've got there. That's definitely a thing. I'll go to here because then I could actually run more of them. It's a bit weird, but it'll be what it'll be. It's not really producing a hell of a lot of power. I wouldn't say they're producing a lot of power either. Maybe it produces a lot more power if it's sat in there. Like here, it's 130 something, but when you go to here, it's absolutely dead. So what I'll do is I'll not put it in there then. There's no point putting it in if it's only going to generate like nothing. I'll just link them up. That'll be the best way. Power. Right, what are we getting? Ooh, that's terrible. Why are we getting less there? That's going to generate an enormous amount of power. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to enable them until I sort of think I'm going to need them. I'm going to make a center pillar here. That's why I did that. Like there, just in case I want to use it somewhere else. Which then I can obviously... It's a bit less, but it's not too shabby. That will then come through. That will have to have another one of these. Come on. You press the button, nothing happens. And then there. Obviously, what I'll do is I'll pause these two. So they can get to the back. They can go through here. It doesn't matter about them two. It doesn't matter about that. That I can do. So I'll put... Well, that one's already been done anyway. I'll pause that one. So they can build all this. This then is the infrastructure that's going to not go straight. Again... I suppose I could redesign this. I should have thought of that first, but I didn't. That's it. I got rid of that, and I'll send it up here. It doesn't particularly matter where it's interconnected as long as it's not interfering with that. I'll get. I suppose they're doing that. I'll pause that one. That allows them to walk through there, so otherwise they wouldn't be able to walk through and do this one. And that's not the first time I've done that. So I'll get the power ready before we actually get anything in the other industry ready. I would really like to increase the water storage, even though I'm sort of taking away this section. I've got this, and then I would have to be taking this out there. Well, I suppose what I could have done is it's only 14. Again, we're going to move. This is going to be potatoes anyway. Once I've got this running, have we got this running? Yes, we can. Let's delete this section here. No, I'll delete that. That now is opened it up for the potential to have all this done. There's quite a lot here, so I can go a bit further on the plant sunflowers. So I'll take this section here Well, I can go quite high now. I can have 2 more actually. That's sunflower. What I'll do is I'll just go back to here and then I'll press the clear button. And what that'll do is once that's basically been taken up, it won't replant it. That's what the clear is for. Then plant crops. Be nice just to go there because that's a line. Actually, probably could steal an extra line in there, I think. And then we'll plant the carrots. Yep, I can go to there. And that'll obviously get done. Once this is done, then because I'm not selecting one here, like I said, I'll get this all taken up, and this will be potatoes. So losing this isn't really that bad. I'll take that down, and we'll get that picked up. We got some gears. I think I've probably got this empty now. Yeah, I got 200 gears. So situations are now, it's certainly branching out compared to a few videos ago where it was mainly contained in our depression, if you like. There's just this section here, but now it's definitely moving on to something larger. If I get another 2 of these, then I'm not doing bad on watering. So I'm happy with that. Sections taking shape. We've got 2 running. I might as well actually unlock the terrain. It always makes me laugh that terrain costs, because what is the point of getting the dirt excavator if you're not going to get the terrain? I think it should automatically unlock, because you can't do anything else without the others. So to me it's sort of, it costs you 2,000 for this. Because yeah, you could unlock this, but you can't get any dirt because you don't have the excavator to do it, and this is the only thing that gives you dirt. So what would be the point of actually, it's sort of questionable for me. I don't need these anymore because I've got no scrap metal here. And then I'll do this. Now we've got no. Hopefully now it can play up, and it might play up because of this ledge. And that's the reason why that it doesn't like. I mean, what you could do is fill this in and then put the third one in, and maybe that. I know it's like going anti the opposite way, but it may be that. Sometimes it may not be. Sometimes I question the thing of this. So now I've got that. I'll just selected the right one. There we go. So that's all it was. Was basically one tree in the way. Damn trees. Trees, damn trees. I do this before I even do it. So I've got this one in. That's going to link. I can't obviously link the 4th one in. Because this is what I was saying before that I would love to do. Because I've not seen that done before, ever. I like to come up with wacky ideas. Yeah, that zip line would have to be moved, and I think it would actually work. I have no idea how the hell I would get that over there, though. But it would work. We'd have to obviously move the zip line. The zip line would have to come. I mean, you could potentially take it down here, and then they'd have to come up there, but it's not a major issue concern as far as I'm concerned. I could run 3. That would produce an enormous amount of dirt. And then obviously we'd move, once we get this, we'd have to move again and keep doing it, because it would go down. And we're using it as the name implies, dirt excavator, just taking the dirt out. Plant crops. Give me some, what I can get in potatoes. And that'll do. I'm going to get that much at the moment. So I want to get the dirt, because I want to fill this in a little bit, and then move all of this industry here over to this section. But I do like the idea of that. Until this is all built, though, I don't want to. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. Like I said, I can get this built and connect that into there and give me even more power, which I think I'm going to have to do if I'm going to run more anyway. Now, I know you're going to say, why did you do this? It's going to allow me to build all of that in one go by building this first. I know it's like having a double trench, but it makes it easier. And the reason why is when I build, let's say, this line here to go along, I'd have to do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. But if I build this, I've got a lot. The log situation is getting absolutely terrible. We're building a lot, so that's the reason why. I've got to be careful, because food is a concern. Almost enough tapper. Almost enough things. I need, I think it's 50, isn't it? I need, 100 tree packs. So I've got the 2 of the 3. I'll need 150 that melt, done. I'll need 300 in gears, almost done. So I've almost got enough to run all 3 in one go. I also have to do that. Now this is bonkers, because I've never actually run 3 in a. I've run 3 in a map. That was our new diameter playthrough recently. In fact, I think I run 4. I got 4 running briefly to do something, and that's how that worked. I'll do this as a thing as well. I want that. So we may connect all this power up with this power, and just let that come on. Like I said, I've got the planks, but I haven't got everything that I want. Now this has been taken off. I'll run this, and I'll run this, and I'll go copy, done. I'll get this going. I want to get the water going, and I'll make sure that these are, because it's going to give me more planks. Because this has got gears and it's also got planks. I know it's not going to be a lot. We're taking obviously 60 metal away from what I'm going to build the thing, but it'll still carry on. the only disadvantage is she's going to use logs to do it. If I get down to a couple of hundred and I don't have this situation solved, what I can do, I don't mind having, if I can get to 400. This is obviously a lumberjack. If I get this to the 400 it needs, I will turn this off, cut these down, and get them to reach. Because then I've got some more trees. Trees are the obviously the main thing at the moment. I know I could go down and grab these trees, but that's not much. There is another section which does have quite a lot of logs. That's here. But it means the only way that I could get down here, which again is something I think. No, because that takes 8. This would take 6. So if I do this, and now we can get into this section, so now I can do some beaverings like that. Cut the trees. There's not a lot, but there's enough. You're talking probably about a couple of hundred maybe from this section. Can they get right the way around? Yes, they can. That's good. I need to connect that. So now they'll obviously get all this done and this done. It's one of these. This is one of these ones where you're filling in gaps and doing whatever. I cannot get rid of that for obvious reasons. It's too far from a district. Why is it too far from a district? Yes, it would be. It's going to be because of that. It's too far from a district. It's just not too far from a district. Is it too far from a district? I don't think that's the case. I think now it's fine. It's just it gets a little confusing when you're trying to do that. There we go. So we've got more water in, which will give me over 5,000 water, and I don't have to worry too much now about running out. I will if I get more beavers, and I will be getting more beavers. That can go. These can go because, for obvious reasons, I don't need them anymore. Because we've got that new, and that'll give me back some logs, it'll give me back some other things which I'm needing because I'm running out. I've got 200 logs things, so I'm going to have to be very careful. Region 66. I'll pause this, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to get this for cut trees. Let's just cut all this. Just change it to cutting. It'll give me a few more. Come on, I ain't doing that. And then obviously I'm gonna have to replant these again, but I shouldn't be using over 250 over that much for now. It's just going to allow me to have some more. Obviously, we've got these. I mean, they are obviously finishing growing, but eventually it will be the right call to turn off the gears and turn off the planks, or turn down the gears and planks. I mean, to be honest with you, I suppose I could turn off 2 and I could turn up one gear, and that would just help the situation. It wouldn't be massive. I mean, look at that. I've got now. I'm getting 300 logs from this lot. That, and that's cleaned up all of that. I want the extractor going eventually as well. That's another thing. We've got one more to do for that. I've gone back up to 300, like I said, so over 300 from 200 and something. Ah, right, here we go. This yet has not been... Speak, you can't say. Get that. Just get it. Just get it. And crops. Potatoes. Now we got obviously potatoes in there. That's done. Potentially to put potatoes and wheat in this section, but not overly bothered. Carrots are on the picking for this. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Still got a high... You know, I've still got full on carrots, and I'm still trying to get this back to 1, although it's not going to make too much of a difference. Campfire. I probably need a couple of campfires, actually. Oh, no, should be fine. What's it doing now? I was going to get rid of this section, but it doesn't seem to warrant that yet. I've just noticed that being done. So now we'll get these done. I will put these on that to get this cut down immediately. Now, there is an option which might be worth it. Sorry about that. I was drinking cold tea, actually. I don't mind cold tea. If that was my mother, she would say that's disgusting. But then again, she likes baked beans on a salad, and it, you know, don't ask. I said, "Ma'am, that's just gross." Baked beans with bacon, egg, sausage, fried bread, you know, and black pudding. I like black pudding. And that sort of thing. But on a salad, no. That's so much wrong. But anyway. She's my mother. She means the world to me as my mum. And it was a quite funny day yesterday. They said, "Right, we're going now." Oh yeah, we're going to. I won't say to advertise it, but from where I live, but it's a well-known garden centre complex, and I like to go there. But once a year, I started off with having breakfast, for like Christmas. You know, like for Christmas time, I decided to do it, and. So Mum said, "Oh, it's my treat. I'm going to do it this time." And you know, she's nearly 80. She said, "I need some new trainers. These are going." And she was looking around again. I won't advertise trainers, but she was looking at these slip-on-y things, and you know, again, I don't want to say the name for obvious reasons. You'll probably know what I mean. And they're a bit trend, you know, like trendy. I say, "Man, you'll be with kids. You'll be trendy." And anyway. So she was looking at these, and we got the size. I said, "Right, what size?" "Oh, I need a smaller one." And so I went round and said, "Oh, I've got these. How about them, man? They look all right on your mat." And so stepfather was there, and we was, you know, we were leaving up to her. She said, "Well, I like that one. Oh, I quite like these." And stepfather turned around and said, "You don't treat yourself. Get both sets." She goes, "All right then. I'm not going to argue." And I think she paid like 140 quid or something for the two. She's not going to argue. Mum's pretty good with money. That's where I get my things from, you know. And But she were real happy. She were happy with herself all day. Then it was a trainer. It's funny when you get to that, the age, and I do different things where your parents have been quite happy. It's only set of trainers, but she was quite happy. She says, yeah. She says, you're like, yeah. She said, I'm happy. Got some new ones. She said, I said, well, you can, one week you go out, you can use one, and then next week you can use the other. But yeah, sorry about that. But it's just funny. I mean, you probably had the same situation maybe with your parents, unless you're obviously watching this at a bit younger and they haven't got to that stage at the moment. But it was funny. Yeah, I can't add this in until I get this, because obviously this. Talking about it, she asked me, she said, what sort of breakfast would you like? Would you like a small one or would you like a large one? And I looked at that and she said, why did I bother asking that question? I said, ma'am, I'm 51. You've known me all my life. You know what I'm like with food. I said, my YouTube thinks pigs. What does it tell you? She said, yeah, that's true. I love food. That's my Achilles heel. I don't smoke, I don't really drink, and I don't do any of the drug-related crap that, that happens these days. It's not my sort of thing. It's never been my sort of thing. But, yeah, food is definitely the one that I struggle with. But anyway. Although saying that, I have lost about half a stone or so. And I usually do it this year because I know Christmas is coming, and you know what it's like. You always overindulge. You said to yourself, "I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be good." And no. Although last year, if you've been watching the channel from that, but I think it was about 13th of December, I got ill, and I was moving my stuff into this room. It was a smaller room, and I was on my hands and knees. So the computer that was in the other room, in my bigger bedroom, and I wanted to move myself back into that one, because the bigger one, and sleep in there, and not in this smaller one. And so I had the chair for the computer in here, and it's one of the bigger chairs from, it's an expensive chair, not a 24-hour chair, but one of the, again, I'm not going to advertise the company for obvious reasons. And so I had it in here, and I can't get it through the door, so I had to put it on the side to get it through the door. So it's a right pain. And I said I was ill, and I was ill, and people know I was actually doing the videos on the floor or trying to my hands and knees, and I think I'd lost about 1.5 stone in 3 or 4 days. Couldn't eat. I couldn't really sleep. I was terrible. I was considering even ringing the ambulance, and that's I don't get ill. It just, you know what I mean? But anyway, hopefully this year I'll be fine. So I'd like a bit of a better Christmas, because I said to me, but I said I might not even be in. I just might be just at home and think, because I just feel so ill. But anyway, I eventually pulled through. It took me about a month to get better. But if you were with me in them times and thing, you know exactly what I was going through. I'm just nosing around to see if all the infrastructure is starting to come online. Now I know I'm not doing too bad with logs, actually, to be honest. All right, I'll cut trees. I'll take this off cutting. So we got some trees back, and now we've got back to 700 and only had a few. Obviously, so we've got 12 days for them to grow, and then another 7 days before we can get the resin. That's why I did it. I don't particularly like to do it for the maple, because they are, as you 28 days, so it's nearly almost as long as an oak, and then they have 12 days to get the, whatever the hell it is, its little syrupy thing, so that's how they get it. And it, you know, it's 23 days and 8 for the chestnuts. So I'll try not to do them if I can. But anyway, oh, we're getting close to the end of this episode. It doesn't feel as if I've done as much, but we are getting our 3-way dirt excavator system going to go. And I'll select that because I want that as the thumbnail. As you know, I use my own software to create me thumbnails and convert the videos, being an ex-developer, etc., etc. So this will come in for next time. So in the next video, we should see this start to come in. And I've got a couple of hundred. That's why I'm going through it now. And obviously, I'm going to need 300 to get these going. And obviously, I'm needing this power. I think I'm going to need all this power to be able to run these because they're very hungry on power. So we say 200. So that's a 600 I'm going to need. I probably have quite enough there, but what the hell? You can't have enough power. And I might also, because they're pulling it here, to be able to get this going off and get a couple of others, 2 or 3 others down here. Because obviously, this is where I want me the water to go. I like these natural things. If you've been watching the channel, I like playing Timberborn and doing things. I don't like all other players do all these batteries and things, which is fine. But I like to play it as if I was playing it au naturel. So I like to use the terrain to do a reservoir or this or that, where other people would build a massive amount of levees to do it, and I absolutely hate that. Again, might be to do with something that I was a joiner when I was as a kid, or some weird idea that I've got in my mind, but that's the way I do it. But anyway, I hope you enjoy that. We will see in the next one where we get this dirt excavator things going, and we'll then plan out if this is enough power. I'll keep that going. I might even get 2, 3 more. So we might as well use this. And obviously, if I can, I'll lodge in the power from there. So even more power. Unlimited power. You know, bit of Star Wars there for you. Not exactly. I'm not exactly the Emperor, but you know what I mean. Emperor Pigs. It does have a little ring to it. But anyway, we will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed that. Take care. Bye for now.